Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Fairy Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are following the reign of Queen Supriya Reed Daisy, who has recently celebrated the birthday of Lady Katerina. But the festivities ended off on a tense note when Katerina attempted to rile up Tinka in front of half the court for getting too close to Crown Princess Lynette and trying to replace her daughters. It was unsightly, but Tinka managed to stay unaffected, choosing not to place emphasis on the ravings of a hot-headed mother. We are picking up at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. I have no idea what kind of meeting is happening over here, but Kayla and Vivian are having a bit of an awkward encounter. It's fine. Kayla right now wants to grant a sacred blessing, so let's see who is going to receive her good fortunes right now. And what's this? Titania and Katerina ganged up on Lady Brant and ended up beating her 2-1. So they're bonding, but also recently, Titania and Katerina did get a difficult family dynamic. I think the relationship between her daughters is definitely making stuff tough for Katerina, not only within her family, but her relation with other court members, especially, the youngsters. But at the end of the day, she is trying her best to keep everything together. Oh well. We need to go and see who Kayla is going to want to give a sacred blessing to. She has an 11 friendship with Lynette, a 21 with Sycorax, 100 with Brant, 100 with Katerina, 100 with Queen Supriya, 29 with Titania, a 97 with Lady Brant, 1 with Jadis, 100 with Tinka, and 100 with Vivian. Her awkwardness with Vivian right now could be because she is really good friends with Tinka, and she was, I think, there when Katerina was going off at Tinka. And now it's kind of like, oh yes, your mother was going off at Tinka for you and your sister. But okay, out of all of the hundreds, she has the best compatibility with Katerina. So she's going to head over to Katerina, grant her sacred blessing. You know what though? I feel like with Kayla, we kind of all know how scheming she is. If anything, she would probably be on Katerina's side, I think. Katerina was one of her biggest rivals at some point at the beginning of the summer council, but then we kind of learned as time went on that it was solely because she looked up to Katerina so much. She was kind of obsessed with her, and now she's kind of, become defensive of her ideal of Katerina. So she would, I think, still take Katerina's side even if she was like chumming up with Brant and Tinka and Brant. Like, we know how she feels about Brant in particular. And you know what? I think Kayla in general has been mellowing out as a person because everyone in the court can see that Brant and Katerina pretty much know more. And because of that, it's like Kayla's rivalry with Brant isn't that big of a deal anymore because there's nothing to accuse her of. It's like the path has been cleared for Kayla to weasel in and become a really good friend of Katerina. So she's feeling like awfully generous towards everyone. And what is this? Princess Lynette and Dame Vivian now despise each other. Oh no, we know Titania's relationship with Lynette was that bad, but I think with Vivian there still was some left. Apparently that is not the case. Lynette's relationship with Vivian has gone just as bad as Titania. Yikes. Okay, well, moving on to Sycorax. Sycorax, let's see, she wants to share ideas. So let's see who she's going to share ideas with. She has a 21 friendship with Kayla, a 33 with Titania, a 21 with Vivian, a 57 with Brant, a 61 with Supriya, a 4 with Jadis, a 99 with Katerina. a 45 with Lynette, an 81 with Tinker, and a 44 with Brant. Wow. She has the best relationship with her rival's mother than she does with her own mother. But we've discussed this before. It's because Sycorax has great ambitions. She views her mother as an unimportant fairy in court, and she would rather have a mother like Katerina. So she's going to go to Katerina and she is going to share ideas. So let's go and share ideas. And you know what? I think at this point, based on their relationships, I have said that Sycorax would be very protective of her sister Tinka, but she's also a bit of a strategist, and right now it seems as though she is placing more importance on her friendship with Katerina than her bond with her sister, and she is going to kind of back down in a way about the whole Katerina riling up her sister in front of the court. She's going to back down a little bit because she wants to kind of learn from Katerina about strategy within the court. In a way, this exchange is her gaining some sort of mentorship from Katerina's experience being a part of the summer council. And she's sick apparently, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because her sickness is not going to affect anything genetically anymore, so we don't necessarily have to track it. But yeah, I think that's what would be happening over here. Did they talk? I've tried 3 times now. I hope they have talked. I did complete the whim, but there we go. Okay, now they're talking. Yeah, so I think that's what's going on over here, which is a double standard because she, in the beginning, was looking down on Titania for not sticking up for Vivian in front of Lynette and Uther. But now she's kind of doing the same thing to her sister. She knows that Katerina went off at her sister during the birthday party, but she's not saying anything because she wants to take advantage of this relationship and kind of gain Katerina's mentorship. So she's being a little bit two-faced, isn't she? She is. Meanwhile, Dame Tinka, she wants to offer generosity to someone outside of the household. So I'm going to interpret that as Uther, of course. We need to go track down Uther. And she wants to apparently offer a listening ear, bestow empathy, or share kind words with him. Do you know him? Are you friendly with him? Apparently not. How do you not know him? Or is he leaving? He should not be leaving. Why don't you instantly fly here? But I don't know why the options aren't coming up. Is he leaving? Is he going back home? Ah, Uther. Don't worry. We're gonna call you back out. Let's call him back out. Can you join us, Uther? We have important stuff to talk to you about. Please, Uther. Come and join us. I'm gonna have to teleport you here. Tinka's been waiting for a while. Okay, Tinka, don't worry. We're just gonna teleport him out and you can talk to Uther. You know what, guys? Recently we have been noticing that, oh no, she's sick. She's sick! We're gonna have to track this. This is the first time one of the youngsters have gotten sick. We're gonna have to track this because this is gonna affect her genetic sickness. Okay, I was saying though, this is kind of the first time she's gotten sick, but no, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is that bestow empathy. Let's bestow empathy. Tinka, we know, has been showing a lot of interest in Lynette. She's been showing interest in Lynette of the romantic sort. And we know that Lynette and Uther are involved, right? They're betrothed to one another. But Tinka obviously knows that the relations between them aren't exactly good. So I think she's probably talking to Uther to give him a little bit of empathy because maybe she realizes how hard all of this is on him as well. I mean, she's apparently pretty good friends with him. And oh my goodness, Uther has become a young adult. I need to give him a makeover. Oh my goodness, I have to give him a makeover. Don't worry, Uther. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that as soon as I can, I promise. But they have an 87 friendship. They are good friends. So I think there's two things at play here. One is Tinka's interest towards Lynette. I don't think she'll be too upset about them not getting along. But also, being Uther's friend, she would know that it's probably very difficult for him to have to tiptoe around all of the girls because of all the drama that's been happening when it's not something they had to worry about as kids. So there we go. Moving on to Jadis. Jadis wants to chat with Lady Brant. She had something, but apparently she doesn't anymore. So I'm just going to take it at Lady Brant. And we are going to talk to her. What do you want to talk about? You are my favorite? I don't know if you would say that. Evangelize vegetarian benefits. Okay, so what that's going to be... Oh, come on. Come on, Jadis. What that's going to be is essentially Jadis reminding Bren bullshit adrenaline seeker tips, but on the basis of what I was saying before, that's going to be Jadis reminding Bren that she as a princess has given up on some stuff. Yes, it might be in terms of her diet, but she has given up stuff. That's what it was representative of. And she recognizes that Bran has also given up something in her relationship with Katerina, and she thinks that's a very admirable thing and one more thing they have in common. So maybe she sent a note to Bran regarding that because that whim fulfilled. So she's definitely making her moves in court. Titania also wants to get to know Lady Bran. I think Titania would have also noticed at the party that her mother was feeling a lot more peaceful. Bran kind of excused herself after a while, but she kind of saw her mother slipping a note to Bran. And she and her sister have been very close to Bran growing up. Obviously because they knew Bran's closeness to their mother. And will that be onto small talk? Yes. And I think she just wants to check up on Bran to see how Bran is dealing with everything and whether or not Bran is okay. I mean, clearly it seems the case that both of them have come to a joint sort of understanding about this, but still, Titania is wanting to, I think, check in on Bran. So, oh, come on. What's, oh, jeez, no, stop. Stop it. Take me there. What's going on with you guys? Come on, Titania. Sometimes, actually, what am I saying? All the time. The game gets funky with you all the time. Now, don't you dare tell me that you can't reach her. Thank you. Thank you. Jeez. Honestly, guys, Titania, must you meditate right now when we just want you to talk to Bran really quickly? Okay, there we go. Bran's looking angry now. I don't know why Bran is so mad, but Bran is looking pretty mad. Okay. You know what? Titania and Vivian are at it again. Katerina has joined the party. Uth is down here, so is Lady Brant. I kind of wonder if Bran, because she's so close, or she has been so close to Vivian and Titania growing up, I think she feels very angry when she looks at what's become of them. She feels angry for them, and now she's kind of pretty much become an outsider. She can't really intervene or do anything in any capacity because that is now a family problem, and she's kind of outside of the family now. So I'm thinking that's why she's so mad right now. Very intriguing. But I have to go. I have to give Uther a makeover, his young adult makeover. And then, guys, we actually have the birthday party of Lady Brant because she is aging up into an adult as well. So that is going to be exciting for us. Prince Uther has aged up into a young adult, so we're taking a look at him in Cass. Uther has developed the unflirty trait, which is probably the result of seeing strife between the fairies of his generation after his betrothal to the crown princess. The whole thing has left a sour taste in his mouth, and he no longer sees the romance in pursuing love. In his mind, political transactions like arranged marriages are best kept formal without the involvement of complicated feelings. He knows the whole court has huge expectations of him and Lynette, and while they've been unable to get to know each other any better, he doesn't think that should be an issue to fulfill their duties. In terms of appearance, he definitely looks more mature than before. His hair has been slicked back, and now that he's a young adult, he's grown some facial hair as well. Overall, I think he exudes a blend of regal grace and natural wildness, which kind of fits his image of being the prince of a dead dynasty raised in the court of a new dynasty. And that's all for Prince Uther. It is 4 p.m. and time for us to have the birthday party of Lady Brant, and it appears as though Uther has come to give his warm wishes to her as well, which is very, very nice. But Lady Brant, let us waste no time and make a wish. Maybe fortunes will start to change for you and your daughters in this new phase of your life. So okay, here we go guys. She is going to blow out the candle and everyone is going to help her celebrate. Hopefully this party is a little bit nicer for her daughters than Katarina's one. And there we go. Let's take a final bit of look at Lady Brant as she is now before she changes. Also, before I forget, I do need to get her to declare a faction. I forgot to do this for Katarina in the last episode, but I did off camera afterwards once I realized, like I had already uploaded the episode by that point, but I had a look at Katarina's relationships and she had majority green, so she has declared herself as a member of the Harmonious faction, which means now the Harmonious faction have 3 members. We have Katarina, Bren, and Kayla, which means that everyone in the Harmonious faction, they currently have like 2 faction points each. So they themselves don't count, but they get as many faction points as the other members they have in their faction. And I looked at the totals for all of our fairies. Guys, right now, Katarina has the same amount of influence as Supriya. They both have 5. And at least for Katarina, it's because of like the faction influence and having twin daughters, like everything's been accumulating and she is just getting more and more influential, which is going to be a benefit to her if, for example, someone calls a reckoning on one of her daughters who are, you know, having a very precarious position in court, but she will be able to counter a death vote, like any death votes that her daughters get, hopefully. Unless someone like Supriya and the entire court decides that they want her daughters to die, then obviously 5 influence isn't going to be enough, but still that's a huge chunk of influence to be in this way. And then I was thinking about Lynette, for example, because I know a lot of us are wondering how things are going to be if Lynette manages to make the Autumn Council, for example. Lynette right now, as a crown princess, has +2 faction influence. If she gets married before the Autumn Council, she will get +2 influence from that marriage. That's going to bring her to a total of 4. And then after that, if she makes counselor, she's going to get +1 influence, which is going to give her the same amount of influence as her mother and Katarina. So yeah, she is going to have kind of a lot of growth very quickly if things go according to plan. So things are definitely churning. But we have to get Brant to declare a faction as well, so I need to note that down when we come back after her makeover. Lady Brant has aged up into an adult, so we're taking a look at her in Cass. Unlike the other adult fairies in court, Brant has taken a gold aesthetic, and I think this ties into her spiritual growth. We've kind of seen how she slowly let go of her envy and ambitions for the council, leaving the future to her daughters. At the same time, I think she's been more devout and thankful to the nature spirits for protecting and guiding her family. Right now, as the court goes through turmoil in the lower ranks, Tinker and Sycorax find themselves safe. And what more could she ask from life? In terms of hair, makeup, and jewelry, she has a more enchanting and delicate appearance than before. Her hair is styled smoothly and frames her face with elegance, and the makeup refines her features, giving her an ethereal look. She has simple rose gold jewelry, adding a touch of subtle charm with heart motifs which show her gratitude to the nature spirits. And that's all for Lady Brant. It is time for Lady Brant to call everyone to the meal so we can all have some wonderful cake. In the meantime, we need to take a look at which faction she is going to join and align herself with. Obviously, the benefit is going to be in the Harmonious faction. The Discordant faction has yet to be kind of created in court, so we really only have one faction that's been decided. Or I suppose the Discordant faction doesn't have any members, so it would be a disadvantage to join that. Let's go ahead and take a look at her relationships. And I mean, I see a lot of blank spaces, but she has mostly green. So that means Lady Brant, where is she? Where'd she go? Brant. Oh, she's right here. She has declared herself for the Harmonious faction, which is not only a benefit to her because she's going to get +3 faction influence from this, but everyone else who is also in her faction will get 1 more faction influence since she has joined their ranks. So that's kind of crazy because if we think about it, it means... Actually, no, hold on a second. This means, guys, that Katarina is gonna have 6 total influence. She's gonna have more influence than the queen, who currently has 5. Oh my goodness. Katarina, a council member, is officially more influential than our queen. That is some scary business. That's actually pretty crazy. So okay, that is done and dusted. And Brant wants to also do some birthday whims, so let's go ahead and see what she wants to do there. The first thing that's on her mind is being mischievous to Lady Kayla, who she actually has a really good friendship with and has had a good friendship with for a long time. I mean, they were the 2 fairies who united over being disgruntled about Katarina. So let's go do some mischief. Let's see, I don't think we want to do a prank. Oh, I don't know. Maybe claim to be a criminal mastermind as a way of reminiscing how they both had an issue with Katarina, and now they've kind of put it to rest. Brant has. In her mind, Kayla has as well, which, to be fair, she has, but I don't think Kayla has entirely given up on her ambitions for the council. She's just, to be honest, she has fizzled out because her biggest issue was with Brant, but now Brant isn't necessarily involved with Katarina anymore. So this might be just them reminiscing, like being mischievous and reminiscing how things are going. So okay, that's good though. At least she's having a good time and not really putting anyone in a difficult decision. Oh no, I don't think Kayla liked... I don't think Kayla liked being reminded of that, especially in the presence of Katarina. Yeah, I don't think she wanted to be reminded of that. She was like, that was not the time and the place, Brant. That was not. Okay, so geez, Brant blundered a little bit over there. And now she wants to confess to being socially awkward. Okay, Brant. Who do you want to confess to? Because you did do a little bit of a blunder there. She has an 8 friendship with Vivian. She has a 0 with Supriya. She has 100 with Katarina, a 5 with Titania, an 80 with Tinka, a 32 with Sycorax, a 99 with Kayla, a 10 with Bran, a 13 with Jadis, and a -29 with Lynette. So it's going to be Katarina because that's the only one she has 100 with. So Katarina, let's go to her and let us basically talk about how we don't really know how to navigate politics sometimes, or court. Sometimes we're gonna ask for social advice. We think, or at least Brant thinks that she is being, smooth and friendly and pretty mild, but she ends up stepping on someone's toes. And I think she would have apologized to Katerina over here for mentioning that it wasn't her intention to make Katerina feel uncomfortable by that whole business, or to, perpetuate the rumor that Brent got her position unfairly. I think that's probably what happened. She was trying to just reminisce with Kayla and joke about old times, but it ended up being a slightly sensitive topic because of the way Kayla reacted, and so I think Brent went to Katerina to apologize. So, there we go. She has at least managed to do that. And you know what? More or less, at least she had a calmer sort of birthday party than what Katerina had. I think Katerina's was a little bit more explosive towards the end. And with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.